Loni Love refuses to tell the truth about Tamar's firing from The Real, allegedly. Hi, welcome to JOA. If you're new to my channel, please click subscribe and click the bell button so you'll be the first to know when I upload. So, Loni Love's former writer slash friend who wrote for Cat Williams' Cookie Hull is talking, y'all. She's talking and she is spilling that tea with Comedy Hype. She was on Comedy Hype. It's a YouTube channel, and I really enjoyed it. It's about an 8-minute interview, and she was asked about the situation that Tamar had on our Instagram when someone wrote a text saying who told you about, you getting fired, and the answer was Cookie. Well, guess what, y'all? This is Cookie Hull, and Cookie Hull is a former writer for Loni Love and Cat Williams. Now, I believe what this woman said. Take a look at this clip, and then I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
If there's anything, advice or something I can help you with, I'm going to help you with it with no malice. But not knowing that in the back of your mind, you got malice.
Now, there's an interesting thing in terms of with Loni in competition, or people in her same space, if you will. One of the Braxton sisters ended up getting removed off The Real. People accused that it was Loni.
Yeah, well, she told me she was going to try to get her off the show. She said that she only wanted to be the only ghetto girl on the show, and she was trying to get rid of her off the show. She showed me an email, and she read it back to me, and one of the things she said, don't quote me verbatim or whatever, but it was to the effect of Tamar had just got on Dancing with the Stars.
Okay.
So being on Dancing with the Stars, she missed 52 episodes of The Real. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was 52. And she was pointing out to the network where if she missed 52 tapings and the ratings haven't changed or they getting better, we really don't need her. And then she pointed out that the fact that when Tamar got hurt on Dancing with the Stars, she was pointing out, I don't know if she was emailing the network, pointing out the fact that she would be an insurance liability because she was hurt. So she wasn't a good fit for the show anymore.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So I know she specifically can't get her fired, but you can influence stuff by pointing out things. You see what I'm saying? And because she was pointing those things out, that may have influenced them to get rid of Tamar, because she told me she wanted to be the only ghetto chick on the show.
So the woman is of a particular age, in my opinion. In my opinion, I do feel like she has no motive or no reason to be clout chasing. So I firmly do believe her wholeheartedly. As you guys all know, Tamar was fired. She wasn't there on season 3. They replaced her, and it was just the 4 girls, and they were on and off again with different hosts on the show. Just about a month ago, they have their 5th co-host, Amanda Seales, and to be honest with you guys, I really don't watch The Real as I used to in the past. Tamar was a headache and a little bit overboard, but she brought the light to that show with her mannerisms, with her singing, with her, her wits, her cleverness, and just being a natural comedian. Loni Love is a comedian herself, and the woman has not made me laugh ever. The brown looker, the baking jokes, the dating the men, to me, that gets tiring, and she tries too much. And I've said this before, there's something about this woman that rubs me off the wrong way. In my opinion, I do feel like she loves Tamara Mowry because she is the most famous girl amongst the hosts. And Loni Love basically never had anyone come over to her house, but yet she goes over to Tamara's house unannounced all the time. She babysits her kids for free. And I remember during a show segment when Tamar found out that she babysitted her Tamara's kids for free, Loni Love was like, well, hey, let's talk sometime. And I mean, Tamar told Loni that, and Loni was like, oh, great. She wasn't feeling it. So in my opinion, I do feel like if Tamara wasn't as popular as she is, like as famous than the girls on the table, then Loni Love would never really just want to be friends with her like that. And I personally do feel, and this may sound petty, that the reason why Loni Love is dating a white man is because Tamara Mowry is dating a white man. And I said this on my community page. Loni Love reminds me of that woman who allegedly killed Selena, the singer, and they were friends and everything. And I'm not saying she will go that route, but she just reminds me of someone that's very, you know, opportunist and very stalkerish with the whole Tamara situation. Now, y'all all know in the industry that women can't get along. And we all say in the black community that we need to support one another and others should support us. But how can you expect other people to support the black community when a black community don't support each other at the same time? That's just not balanced to even say that. So, in my opinion, I do feel like Loni Love was intimidated by Tamar Braxton on the show. As she said in a clip, Loni Love said that Tamar Braxton's a powerhouse because she is. She's very funny. She can sing. She can act. She can dance. The woman is very talented, and she brought the spark to the show. Cookie Hull basically did acknowledge that Tamar Braxton missed a lot from the show, and the ratings were pretty much didn't drop when Tamar was on Dancing with the Stars and when she was sick. And she did bring up that Loni Love suggested that allegedly Tamar could be a liability to the show because Tamar Braxton almost pretty much, she was very, very like sick and she could have died. And to me, if there is a woman who pretends to be your friend and that would write a letter allegedly to the network to saying, hey, like she's a liability to the show, like you're worse than a snake. You're a devil. And I firmly do believe this. There is a situation not only with black women in the industry, not only with females in the industry, but also when you are a comedian, there is a situation where if you have two comedians on the show, and I'm going to put Tamar as a comedian because to me, I find her funny. One most likely is always going to feel like intimidated, and they're always going to feel as if they have to one up on you to get to where they want to go. So this is why I firmly believe that Loni Love definitely wrote those letters, because Tamar Braxton was not on the show for like the Cookie and all said like about 52 days, and she missed a lot with Dancing with the Stars and being sick in the hospital. And then at one point her mother filled in for her. So the fact that you're sitting in the same seat as Tamar's mother and they're discussing Tamar's health, but you allegedly went behind her back and you wrote letters saying that she's a liability to the show, we don't need her, to me that's snake-like. And I did mention this in my community page on my YouTube. Check that out. That you know, the whole situation about Cookie doing the interview caught me the hype, and a lot of you are like, some of you are like, there's no way someone can like get you fired. That's not true. You definitely can be an influence, number one, and number two, you definitely can get someone fired. You definitely can. If you have documentation of a situation happening with you and your coworker, you can get someone fired. If you are working for a boss and that boss is your friend and you're saying so-and-so is not good, you can get them fired over nepotism and favoritism. If you guys, the ones that saying there's no way that Loni Love can't get her fired because she don't have power, y'all, it's not about power. It's not about power at all. Loni Love already was brought in to Telepictures. Loni Love wanted her own show. But Telepictures were like, no, we're trying to establish a show of people of color. Yeah, Loni Love may not be executive producer. She may not have profit sharing in the show. But at the same time, the girl has authority. She has a little bit of authority to say, hey, while we're having this girl, we're paying salary for a girl that's not here for most of the season, being sick and being on Dancing with the Stars, when that money could be going to other things like charity and donations and so on and so forth. We don't need this girl on the show. And I personally do feel that. I feel that wholeheartedly. So for those of you who are saying she doesn't have power to get her fired, you're correct there, but she has the First Amendment. She can go to HR and she can explain her feelings towards the situation, and HR can keep that confidential, because you're never going to hear the real saying what really happened. This all going to come out through the co-host or through someone else's mouth. So I personally do feel that Loni Love does have some type of influence or some type of responsibility for the show. The woman is trying to get her show since the early 2000s, as she expressed on The Breakfast Club. And I personally do feel that she took the show just so, you know, she was told she was going to be the lead moderator, and at the same time, I guess she felt that she was going to be the star of the show. But when you have someone that is talented with a big personality and they're overshining you, I do feel like that you can be intimidated, and Loni Love definitely, I feel, have a part in that. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Please click subscribe and click the bell button so you'll be the first to know when I upload. Deuces! Yeah.